and order establishing rules and regulations governing recreational facilities and related fees. So I don't think we have a report in there, but I do want to make everyone aware of the fact that even though in light of the conversation by Mr. Young, I do know that the disc course was closed in Tumlinson and Comanche, and it has been very obvious and publicly noted on Facebook pages that encouragement to come out and play the course that no longer exists. And I know for a fact that residents are already getting disc in their backyards with those players that are playing a ghost course. So I told them I would address it. I get lots of communications. I think y'all saw the communications in the last board meeting from a lot of the residents that live on the Tumlinson Fort side and on the, not just Tumlinson Fort, but the Gabriel Mills side. And it's really regretful that I had to bring this to the board's attention, but I think I'd like to direct the general manager to write a rule that prohibits the disc golf being thrown in temporary baskets, being placed in a place that has got obviously a report that there are safety issues. I understand from Mr. Young that there was a comment by John Huck that there could be possibly a micro course created. However, the residents that are impacted on this side of the neighborhood, we heard from all of those on the Hamano side, and we had quite a few of them because there was multi-residents. These are senior citizens, and I even had where an 82-year-old veteran was cursed at and verbally attacked by a disc golfer that was in the park with a temporary basket. And so we're still having some real obvious inconsiderations and basically blatant outright defiance. So I'd like the board to consider directing the general manager to revise the rules and bring that to the board in January.
This is Director Bennett. That sounds appropriate to me. I mean, guys, we have to answer these things. We can't just keep letting it go on. I mean, it's unfortunate all this has occurred. We all agree that. We tried to move it. We failed. We may try again. I don't know at the moment, but we can't allow other citizens to be, you know, have these issues where people are, you know, given really bad results with, you know, I don't know. It's just not right, y'all. We know that, and we got to stop it somehow. It's just not right. You know, Mr. Young, his friends, maybe they're not the ones doing that. I mean, we don't know, but they can't control it, and we can't either. It is not possible to control who is out there playing, and the only way to control it at the moment is to stop it all until we can figure it out. We're not all educated in how to do this. We're doing the best we can with the knowledge we have, and we'll try until, you know, we've beaten the dead horse. No one's thrown in the towel yet. We're still working on it. We're trying to get answers. But
this is Director Logan, and I also know people are spitting on disc golfers' cars, and the way the baskets have been set up when I'm there, it's not going over a path. They're being very considerate. And if we're going to ban throwing a Frisbee in the park, are we going to ban the horseshoes? Are we going to ban hacky sack? Are we going to ban tossing a softball around?
I think we have to address that. Or so if people are doing that and they're misbehaving, if they're causing residents that don't even live in the park distress, I think we have to address it. That's all there is to it. It may be temporary, it may not be, but this is a precedent. I think we have to address it. That's all. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm just saying.
And I'm saying my opinion, and my opinion is I've been out there, I've been watching it, and I haven't seen a single disc go in a yard. I haven't seen anybody been cussed out. As a matter of fact, what I've witnessed when I'm out there are people riding their bikes and walking their dog and having their strollers and being so excited that they can, you know, put a temporary basket out and practice pitching, practice putting. It's not the true game of 9 holes going on that's crossing paths. And the people, I mean, like I said, people are spitting on disc golfers' cars. So you've got some pretty ugly behavior, it sounds like, from both sides. And I think we really need to think about this before we say you can't throw a Frisbee in the park. Don't
Well,
throw a
Direct-
horseshoe in the
This
park.
is Director Koenig. Director Logan, you telling me you were out there with the disc golfers even after we closed the course down?
Yeah, I am telling you, I've been out in the park several times. I sit out there and watch them. I'm out there in the park, Byron.
With the disc golfers when they had an organized thing to set up baskets where we took them down.
There is no organizing. Byron, I'm out in the parks. There is nothing wrong with me being out in the parks.
There was an organized effort on Facebook to be out there.
Byron, there's nothing wrong with me being in the parks. If you think there's something,
Didn't say that there was. I asked you a question.
and
were
I'm
you a
answered
part
it.
of the
I've answered
organized
it.
effort
I've answered it
out
4
there?
times, Byron. There's nothing wrong with me being out in the parks.
That's not, my question was not whether you had the right to be in the park. Were you a part of the organized effort to put up new discs in the new baskets?
I'm not part of any organized effort.
Okay.
Director Logan, did you purchase a temporary basket to play in the
Yeah.
court?
I absolutely have a
Right.
temporary basket, and there's nothing wrong with me having a temporary basket. I put it in my backyard. I put it in my front yard. I've taken it to other parks. And if you're trying to insinuate there's something wrong with that, I want to hear it.
Okay, so also I did have a resident observe Director Logan playing disc golf. With a temporary
Absolutely.
basket.
Absolutely. I practice pitching. There's nothing wrong with that. I've gone out there and played horseshoes. I've played catch with my kids.
So,
I've flown a kite out there.
so I do want to make another comment. I live here. I happen to observe it. I don't just come and visit the park. I happen to live across the street from it. These are the neighbors that I have to live with.
We all have to live with our
Did-
neighbors here.
And I want to tell you, you're correct. Not everybody's throwing a disc into people's backyards, but they have had them thrown in, and I verified it this week.
I'm sure you did. And
So-
how many discs do you have in your garage right now?
I want to say something to you.
Yes.
That was uncalled for, because I'm not going to question these residents when they're telling me the truth. There's no reason for me to question them. They have no reason to embellish their stories.
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
given facts that they're telling me. And so they happen to live along Gabriel Mills,
Mhm.
and they
Okay.
also live at the very front. So I think just like we listen to the Mono Park residents, I think we need to listen to this side of the neighborhood as well.
We sure have listened to them. We absolutely have.
They're the reason that it got, the valuation came about. We hired and paid a gentleman to come out that was a professional, and he
Yeah.
actually stated every hole was sun safe. Am I correct,
And he
Sean?
gave us some options.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But we also have taxpayers here that need to be heard as well.
We have 6,000 taxpayers in our district. And a lot of people, like I said, when I was out there, I heard a lot of people that really were excited to be able to sit out there and throw a disc.
And another observation I just want to make. I've seen more hammocks strung up between the trees. I've seen
Mhm.
more people sitting at the picnic tables than I've ever seen since we put the disc golf here. And the population encouraged a lot more out of residents using the park and the disc and the course that was there. So I think there's a lot of factors that we need to address. So all I'm doing is asking the board to consider directing the general manager to rewrite the rules, because it's real obvious the group that's trying to do this is going to defy the board's recommendation to close that course for safety issues. It's not that we don't want them to have a course. It's just there are safety issues, and we don't need to wait until someone is injured. We've had residents hit and hurt, and their dogs hit. And it's not the group that's advocating for it. It's the non-residents. It's the other people that come over and they don't care. And that's the regret that this has gotten to.
Well, I disagree with us changing the rules that we can't throw a Frisbee in the park.
So I'd like to.
I think
get a
if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to throw in horseshoes and other items as well. And
I want to be clear, this is not just any Frisbee, it's only the heavy, dangerous Frisbees used in disc golf.
Byron, okay, all right.
Okay, so can I get a motion to direct the general manager? I'll
Motion.
make the motion. Okay, I'll make the motion, director, to
Well,
write rules.
Yeah.
Okay. And bring it to the board for consideration in the January meeting. Also, I'd like to add, since this is on here, we have a use of chance field issue, a reservation issue, and I'd like to direct the general manager to write a new revised way for them to actually utilize and reserve that field. Because it seems like it's been weighted with the same coaches. And so it's unfair to the newer coaches that want to have their children to be able to play in the field as well. So,
Director
that.
Roberts, didn't we do that like 2 years ago where we kind of had a lottery and only
nope,
just
never
could
did
do it at
it
a time?
revised. It's never been revised.
Yeah,
We
I'm
talked
pretty
about it.
sure. I'm gonna pull up the stuff because I think we went through that. We changed the rules and maybe not in the writing, but we changed the procedure.
Well, it has to be in writing because we have to post it in public notice. So we need to revise them as well. And I think Jacqueline actually has some ideas.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, before you rewrite the book though, Jacqueline, I'd like to work with you because we did have a procedure in place. I'm positive 2 years ago and hopefully last year too.
Well, the procedure in the actual rules may not be the enforceable side. So we need to rewrite the rules as well.
Jacqueline, I'll reach out to you.
All right. So do I have a second?
second.
All right. Do further discussion.
I think everyone understands this is a very sensitive topic, y'all. I mean, it's just so unfortunate that so many things have happened all, in a row, so to speak. I really thought in my heart that Himano was going to work out. It did not work out. I'm sorry. Made a mistake. Tried it. We're going to try other things. Like I said, no one's given up, but at the moment, I think we have to stop it all so we can regroup, meet as many times as you want, I don't care, and try to resolve it. It doesn't really matter to me at the moment what the answer is, good or bad. I just want a good answer that keeps it, we have to do it safe is what it sounds like. I think Robert agrees with that. And if we can get to that point, that's great. If we can't, so be it. It's unfortunate. I mean, other things have fallen to the wayside, before.
This is Director Logan. I agree with you. It's very unfortunate that it's gotten to this point. I think this has been a cluster since the beginning. I think we could have handled this much differently. I'm sorry that the communications were as bad as they were, so the Germano didn't work out. I think that we're penalizing a group for a minority of people, either within or outside the district. And I hope you're true to your word, Steve, that you really do care and want this to succeed somewhere in our district. I know every single disc golfer that I have talked to, and I've talked to many of them, want nothing more than a safe course. And the temporary baskets that were up just randomly on the weekends, practicing putting, were absolutely safe. They didn't cross paths. And just the visual of them being up there just set some people off to the point they were spitting on cars. So
We have any idea who it was spitting? Because I've not heard anything about the spitting, and that seems very odd that somebody would spit on their cars.
yeah, Cecilia, if you hadn't heard about it, and that doesn't necessarily make it true, but that is the case. And I think I have pictures of it, and I'm happy to send it to the board.
And we also have cameras.
This is Director Koenig. I have a question, or not a question. I want to make a comment. Make sure everybody understands we're not appealing to a lesser or a minority group. I believe there was many more people heard against the disc golf than there have been people for it. Yet we're still fighting for it. So
Can we take a poll, Byron?
I don't want
Can we take a
anything to
poll?
sound like we're working with.
Byron, I
just a few.
disagree with you. It's probably 50-50, if not more for it. I would like to see those numbers.
I know the day we had over an hour's worth of people talking at the beginning of the meeting. 90% of those were against.
90? Show me those numbers.
I'm making up a number, but trying to get a point across.
Mhm.
The vast
Yeah, the
majority
point's
of them.
not taken. Yeah.
Well, I think
I
everybody
kept
knows.
notes on the meeting if you'd like them, Director Logan.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
And I do have text messages here from a resident. So I'll be happy to share this to the full board as well, with the comments that she made to me. All right, so all in favor?
Would
Director
you share
Bennett?
those, Cecilia, with the residents as well, please?
Sir, we're going to probably, I'll go ahead and give you a few minutes.
Cecilia, I was just asking if you would share those texts from the residents, not just to the board, but share them also to the community. Everybody can see them.
I'll make that decision because these are sent to me privately and these are elderly people. And so they're very nervous because of the way they've been treated.
Okay. Then Freedom of Information Act will give me access to those. I just need to talk to the director, the GM, and perhaps I can get email tracks and maybe take an official poll of who's in favor of it, who said they're in favor of it and who's not. So
I'm going to call the meeting to order. We appreciate your comments, but
That'll
that
be
citizens communication.
that'll be great.
All right. Okay, you're so welcome. Thank you. So we have Director Bennett,
Aye.
Director Logan,
No, please send me that email.
Director Koenig,
Aye.
and Director Roberts. Aye. All right, communications.